What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Let's talk about trka for just a moment. This is not financial advice. Make your own decisions. Let's go over the filing. Let's look at the charts. We'll look at the ortex as well. Let's get those things out of the way. If you ever see some sort of spike like we did in trka, I always go to filings and just see if there's something out there, because something hit or somebody knows something. It's not just some random coincidence that we're spiking. There's always a reason, always a cause. So I was looking at the filing. Like I said, I don't have a whole lot of free time right at the moment, so I'm going to just read it briefly with you. I read real estate contracts. That's what I know. Filings sometimes are unclear to me. And again, whenever we go back to those Series E shares and the warrants, I don't know, right? Should they have been out there? Shouldn't they have been out there? What's going on? Are they buying them back? Who knows, really? But let's look at the filing. Let's see what it says. So they entered into a settlement agreement with certain current and former holders of the Series E convertible preferred stock. The company and purchasers are party to that certain securities purchase agreement dated March 16, 2022. So we're going back a little bit. Pursuant to which the original purchasers of the Series E preferred stock, the original purchasers acquired shares of Series E preferred stock and accompanying warrants subject to the terms that were contained therein. That certain registration rights agreement that was dated on March 16th says that pursuant to which the company and the original purchasers agreed to certain requirements and conditions covering the resale by the original purchaser of the shares of the company of common stock into which Series E preferred stock are convertible and the warrants are exercisable. Now it says, under the terms of the registration rights agreement, the company, upon acquiring Converge, was required to file a registration statement within 10 business days of such closing for such registration statements to be declared effective by the SEC no later than 45 days after. It says the persons entitled to liquidated damages pursuant to the registration agreement have alleged that the company did not fulfill the registration requirements. So they didn't. We were. That's why we were saying we don't know if they actually filed this correctly or if they ever corrected it. It looks like potentially they never did correct that. So the purchasers are the registered or beneficial owners of more than 50.1% of the registrable securities under the registration rights agreement and can constitute the purchasers of more than 50.1% of the Series E preferred stock originally purchased under the securities purchase agreement. As such, in accordance with the terms of the registration rights agreement and the securities purchase agreement as of March 31st, 2023, each such agreement and all rights and obligations thereunder are deemed terminated and of no further force and effect as such date. In addition, effective as of the effective date, the settlement agreement contains a release of any and all claims against the company and its subsidiaries that such purchaser or its affiliates may have purported to have against the company or its subsidiaries under such agreements, provided, however, that the purchasers will maintain their respective piggyback registration rights under Section 6D. In exchange for the release by the purchasers of any and all claims for liquidated damages under the registration rights agreement, the company has agreed to deliver to each purchaser a number of shares of common stock equal to the dollar amount of liquidated damages owed to each party multiplied by 4. So, I guess to a degree it's going to cost trka some money, and it looks like there could be just damages paid. I don't know if there would actually be more stock increase. As of right now, it doesn't seem like it. It says has agreed to deliver to each purchaser a number of shares. Okay, so there would be a share increase because they are increasing the number of shares of common stock equal to the dollar amount of liquidated damages by 4. So going to quadruple whatever their damages were. The company has agreed to prepare and file with the SEC a resale registration statement covering such common stock no later than May 15th, which may be extended upon mutual agreement. So overall, I think we're going to get a slight increase in shares, but maybe the Series E portion is settled. And like I said in the last video, I think TRKA could do a reverse stock split very easy with just a couple simple filings. This could be filing number 1, clarifying that, the Series E's are taken off the table and it's no longer out there. So what could the next filing be? The next filing could realistically be potentially a reverse stock split. That's what I'm saying. Every day we get further into this month, it's a little bit more dangerous as far as your risk factor of holding this stock. But it looks like as of right now, the overall price has been doing well off of the news. Sometimes we wonder, is it good? Is it bad? We've tapped 30 cents. I think we were getting that outrageous supply between 25 and 28 cents that we just could not break through. And potentially, these were flooding into the market between that price range. So now that we're over it and this is over and done with, let's see if 28 cents starts acting as support and if it wants to make its way to the upside and what we can do from there. But I do think there's going to be a slight share increase as far as what we were thinking. But we're just talking about the Series E and warrants and only 4 times the damages. So it's probably not a major deal. I think it's almost a wash. We'll see. Maybe getting those out of the way just will bring a little bit of confidence back into the play. And that's why we're seeing the price movement right now. TradingView doesn't pick up the after hours. It tells me what price it is, but I don't get the candlesticks. So we're at 29.24 right now in the after hours. Right below our fib line here at the 786, the spot 786 that we were hoping to return up to, which we did crack and just peek our heads above, but we did get quickly rejected back down. So now what are we looking for? We're looking to see if we can take that level out and hold it as support. Like I said, we have support hopefully at 28 cents and 27.38 roughly, so somewhere in between there if we're watching to see how this is going to move. It could be off of this inverse head and shoulders or ugly cup and handle or double bottom. So as of right now, we're moving at least in the right direction that we hoped that we would move according to the 4-hour chart, and everything was still moving very nice. We sat back down right on our trend line that we've been watching, if you drew that up, and we'll see if it makes that push. Being in after hours pre-market, maybe we'll get a little bit more excitement, who knows, or maybe the news just was a quick hype, and we'll see what it brings, because I don't see it being real bullish, but I don't think it's bearish. And like I said, I'm not a professional at reading some of these SEC filings. It's not my specialty, especially when we're talking about warrants and conversions and all of that. Just not my specialty. But if you guys understand it and can make any sense of it, maybe I'm wrong in thinking that there might be a slight increase in shares, but I don't know how there wouldn't be if they're going to multiply the damages by 4 in shares, right? That just logically says there might be some more shares that come into the market and a resale. When does that happen? I don't know. We're going to find out, but play it smart in the meantime. Make your decision. You got to make your decision. Nobody can buy it or sell it for you, but just see how we continue to move. And if this news is good, then I think we should continue to climb with new bases. And if it's not, we're going to see it lose trend. So that's why we're watching the trend pretty close as far as what it's going to do. we want to continue to see higher lows set. At very least, triple bottom. At that point, we lose trend. So keep an eye on what it's doing. Mark it up on your charts. Let's see how it does. I told you we'd check ortex as well. I didn't have that pulled up. So let's see what ortex is saying today. What does ortex say today? All right, utilization went down a little bit compared to yesterday's video. Cost to borrow average went down just a little bit compared to yesterday's video. Pretty much neutral as far as what they were estimating for live short interest, 3.92%, live short interest 12.01 million, and utilization 91.2, cost to borrow average 40.46. So let's keep an eye on what it does here in after hours, what it does in pre-market, and how it opens up. Does it keep trend? That's the big question. Does this news push it in a bullish fashion? Does it push it in a bearish fashion? Or does it really not do anything and we just continue to make our grind in an upward fashion normally? We're going to find out. Watch it close, guys. I hope you had a good day in the markets. I will catch you in the next one. As always, stay golden, people, and may your accounts stay green.